Okay, so it's nearly 100 degrees in my backyard today, so I am spending a little bit of time inside till it cools off. And I'm building some wicking beds. This is a sump pump discharge kit. It's just a big long cheap hose with a couple of clamps and fittings. But anyway, I'm not going to use it for a sump pump. And this little container I got at Lowe's. Is $1.09, so not very much. And this I got at Tractor, what's it called? Tractor Farm Supply? Truck and Tractor Farm Supply, something like that. You guys know. It was like $7. So not very much. You know, less than $10. Got some real thin weed cloth here. And I'll do the first step and show you what I've done when I get there. Be right back. So for the next part, you need to figure out how much hose you want. And that's going to vary a bit depending on the size of the container you're using. So basically all you're doing though is twisting it all in here. So it's on the bottom, you get the idea, and leave a little bit extra to poke out the top. And this is a thin enough hose, you can pretty well just cut it with the hose. If you're using a thicker hose, you know, you might have to find something else to cut it with. But then what I did, since I got this cheap hose, is I just took a nail and just started poking holes in it. And it goes in pretty easy. You don't want to go all the way around. It doesn't have to be, you know, I spaced it about 4 to 6 inches apart. And then you want to cut out a strip of weed mat, some kind of, I got a real thin fabric, wrap it around it, tie the end, just one end, and wrap it around and tie it, wrap it around, tie it all the way. Then what we're going to do is put this inside of here, nice and tightly. It takes a little bit of doing, and then you keep the end poking out the top like that. And we're going to put sand, just like I got some play sand. It's called play sand in bags from Lowe's for like $4 or $5. And we'll fill this up with sand, and then fill it all up with water. And this is where you put the water in, and I'll show you that next. We got the play sand, and you can use whatever sand you want. It doesn't have to be play sand, just sand. I think the finer sand will work. I've heard coarse sand works fine too though, but this works really well. And you just dump it on there. Spread it around. Angle the open end up. Pour on there. You want to get it down in the cracks and everything. I like to shake it down in there so it gets in all the openings. Because it'll wick up through the sand. Okay. There we go. Now we'll fill it up with water. And the hose is the reservoir that holds a little extra water than if it were just full of sand. That's why we put the hose in there, for water storage. And we just want to keep filling this up. We water this whole thing in. Fill it up. And it'll drop down there. It's nice and full. It'll drop back down as it leaches out into the dry sand down in there. Then you just set your grow bag on there, kind of smush it into the sand, and that's supposed to leach up into the bag and keep it watered. That's your wicking bed. And I'm going to put some decorative rock around the edge here so it looks a little bit better. And we'll see how it works, and I'll let you know.